Hey, everybody, my name is Deborah Corn. I am the intergalactic ambassador to the Printiverse. I provide print inspiration and resources to print and marketing professionals around the world. Originally, Mary Beth Smith started Girls Who Print to be a place where she's from Texas, so it had a very sorority feel to it. And when I took over, and as I was working behind the scenes, I brought in industry education, more empowerment, more ways of creating relationships and programming where women could discuss some of the challenges that they face in a male-dominated industry. And it's not a militant type thing. It is more of just a safe space where people can speak freely and really just get career advice throughout their career, no matter where they are, whether they're students who are still in school or they've just recently graduated, or any stage of their career. Usually the people further along are mentors, but I have to say the younger people make great mentees. They're very crafty. Women's Print HERstory Month came about 5 years ago to coincide with Women's History Month. Very simply, history is his story and herstory is her story. And what I wanted to do was really create a space where we can not only celebrate women in general, but we can celebrate the accomplishments of all the fierce, fabulous females in print who power the industry. What the initiative is basically visibility exposure. I send out a Q&A, which is open to anybody in the printing industry who's female to answer the questions. They send me a photo. We create a blog post. We create an image for them to share on social media. We share it through all the Print Media Center channels. We share it through the Girls Who Print channels. And every year we have a different theme. Last year, coming out of the pandemic, our theme was really mentorship, to make sure that people had the tools and the connections that they needed to, navigate coming back, from 3 years of uncertainty. And this year, because people are back, but they have moved around or are looking for work to re-enter the industry again, I solely focused on visibility. So our questions are along the lines of: how do you help clients succeed? Where are you currently working? What is your one word that describes your mission for the year? I think that some of the biggest changes I've noticed over the 14 years of the existence of Girls Who Print is that we go through these cycles of what, the topics are important to people. We have more younger women now being very vocal about how they are supposed to succeed. How are they supposed to be taken seriously? How do they get people to listen to them? And the younger people, as opposed to, like, I'm a Gen Xer, so we don't really talk about that stuff. We just plow through it and just say, oh, Joe's being stupid today, and we just move on with our lives. But no, they are really like mission based on this, to understand really how to get the tools. I don't think they have the tools, and they will be pushed out of the industry. I mean, it's not a funny thing. I'm not laughing in that sense, but it's really important to understand what their perspective is. I realized last year that if I really wanted to help those women who were applying for our mentorship program, and when we asked them what do they need help with, most of the answers were, nobody is taking me seriously. Now, that could be an age thing because they're young. It could be a woman thing because it's a male-dominated industry. But I'm not going to judge it. I'm just going to provide as much information and support as I possibly can to help them move forward. I believe this year is completely different, and that everybody is back to business in the best way that they can. I totally believe in only the strongest should survive. I believe at Hunkler that we saw a really big shift of people who realize now this is it. If I don't automate, I don't have another chance. And they just weren't sure about what to do. And they had the ability to see everything in one space, that even if those vendors weren't right for them, they could learn enough about the presses and the software that they can make decisions and have better questions to ask other people. The thing that I would like to mention, and I appreciate that you are giving me this opportunity, is workforce development and the whining around it, and nobody doing anything about it themselves and pointing fingers that the organization should be doing it and the school should be doing it. And I say this to all of your viewers. What are you doing about it? How are you making print seem cool to people that you might want to attract to work for you? Print is part of a dynamic communications industry. And if you're not positioning every job in your print shop that way, then that is why people walk by and look in print shops and feel bad for everybody working in there, instead of looking in there longingly and say, maybe if I'm lucky one day I can work in there. So get on it. It's up to you to attract people to the printing industry. The mothership of all information is printmediacentr.com. From there, you can find Girls Who Print. You can find International Print Day. You could find Project Peacock, which is now a streaming platform that provides print inspiration all around the world for print customers to understand what their opportunities are with new technologies and processes. But we do it in a way where there's stories about collaboration of why you should talk to printers and not just place an order. And everything else I do, including podcasts from the Printiverse, can be found at printmediacentr.com. And I really thank you for this opportunity for letting me talk to your audience.